Welcome to the Home Stretch podcast. This podcast is all about the home stretch of any part of life, whether that be buying a house, relationships, money, friendships, anything to do with life. We are looking at making it through the home stretch. Today's episode, we're going to be diving into my house buying journey from scratch. So if you've been following along my journey on TikTok, I went through kind of every single day of updates in terms of what was going on in the house buying journey. And it was a long one. It took us 6.5 months. So I'm going to be deep diving into our whole process today. If you haven't heard it before, welcome. If you have watched all my journey, you're going to be listening to it again, so I hope you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I hope you find something that's a little bit valuable, something you can take away. So whether you're just starting out in the house buying process or you're in the midst of it right now, this episode is for you. The dream begins of wanting to buy your first house in the first place, right? I feel like when you're in your 20s, you have it drilled into you that you need a house. So of course, you're going to start looking. Even if you're not with someone right now and you're single, which I used to do all the time, you generally just look and see what's on Rightmove just out of curiosity. Like, why not? It's interesting to see what things are like on the market, how much things are. And when you are single, you do generally think, right, I might have to buy a house on my own. So what can I afford? What houses are out there in the area that I want? And you know, I have a boyfriend and me and Nathan did look at houses together. I won't lie to you, it was exciting. I feel like when I was single, I did look at the possibility of buying a house by myself, and it's a lot tougher. So for anyone that has bought a property on your own, fair play, because going through the 6.5 months worth of delays that we did, if I did that by myself, I don't know how I would have actually got through it. So anyone that is house buying, solo buying, fair play to you. Honestly, like, congrats, and you should be so proud of yourself because it's a huge achievement, because buying a house is a massive deal. It's one of the biggest things you're ever going to buy in your life. So it's very important that you are serious about it and you know exactly what you want. So in terms of our house buying process, we probably viewed around 15 houses altogether, and we started viewing them back in, I think, early June 2024, so last year. So I think we were viewing like 2 to 3 every weekend. And I'm telling you now, you can look at a house online and it can be totally different in person. So if you're one of those people that is like, oh, I'll just buy a house from looking at it online. No, please go and view it. You need to actually see it in person to get the vibe, get the energy, and to even know that it's the right house for you. Even the neighborhood, or even how easy it is to get on and off the drive. Like, these things are really important, and you don't know that until you go and view the house in person. So we viewed many houses, and there was a few before this one that I'm in right now that I thought might be our potential future home. But in hindsight, looking back, there was issues and delays in a few things in terms of like making offers on certain houses that led to us getting this house right now. So when people say you know it's the right one when you just know, you just know. It's hard to explain. If you've viewed a few houses and you haven't got that feeling that it's yours, then it probably isn't. I think going by energy is super important when it comes to houses and things like that. So you just need to feel within your gut if it's right for you or not. But the house journey itself took 6.5 long months. And it got to the point where I thought, this probably isn't for us. It's probably not supposed to be for us, considering we have had so many issues and crazy issues that probably don't usually happen in the house buying process. And just as a little note, your solicitor is very important. So please choose the right one. The annoying thing about the house buying process is it depends how many people are in the chain, right? But the two solicitors that are most important is yours and your seller's solicitor. If your seller's solicitor is rubbish, your house buying process is going to be a little bit annoying. Take it from someone who's had experience. But that's not meaning to say that the house isn't for you. It just means that you're going to have a few hiccups and just a few more delays that you're going to have to deal with. and that is absolutely fine, and we're going to deal with them together. And realistically, I cannot complain because right now we are in the house that we had all of these delays with, and when I tell you the stress from solicitors, estate agents, the sellers maybe, I mean, we didn't have that. It goes away instantly when you get your keys and it's completion day. I am not joking. So if you're going through a lot of delays right now, please just hang in there. If you feel deep down that this house is meant for you, hold on to that feeling, because I went through waves of feeling like that and then feeling like maybe it wasn't. And then eventually, obviously, we're in the house right now, so it was. So please just hang in there, be a little bit patient, and there's divine timing in everything. There's a reason why there's a few delays right now. So on the topic of delays, let's go straight into my first topic, which is unexpected delays. We faced so many hurdles through our house buying journey, a few of them being the seller solicitor missing an inquiry for 5 weeks, which was so much fun. Our LISA money got taken out early by a solicitor, which then meant that we exceeded the 90 days that our LISA money could have been taken out. So we had to extend our LISA money. It didn't take that much longer. However, we were so close to completing, it felt like it was never ending. So that was really annoying. We also had a spelling mistake from the seller solicitor, which was wrong on Nathan's middle name, which was really annoying, and she didn't give us too much pushback to changing it, but we did have to chase. It's what it is. It got sorted out, but it's like, please get the names right. So important to check all the documents, guys, and make sure that it's not 2 L's, it's 1 L, okay? And then we also had the seller's property developer, because they were moving into a new build. We had a lot of issues with the builder. So that was fun too. It was actually his first ever project, meaning that he's never built and sold properties before. It was his first time ever. So we were basically guinea pigs to his first ever little investment / experiment. So if there's someone that can give you advice on new builds, not by a big company, because he was obviously a small contractor, developer, builder, whatever, I can give you some advice on what to look out for, what to ask early on, because that's what happened in our circumstances. He didn't provide the build zone warranty or the building's regulation certificate earlier on. The house was built, fully built back in July 2024, and he didn't have these documents ready until end of January 2025. So I'll let that sit there. That's 7 months from when it was built complete, until when they were trying to sell the property. And when the seller solicitor, was asking, where's this, where's that? He was a bit like, oh, I actually need to provide those. It's like, yes, you do. And eventually he did. And eventually we were able to all move into our houses. So this is just a friendly reminder that delays can crop up, and delays probably will crop up, but you just have to be prepared, ready to, go through the motion, be proactive, but also not being annoying, and just understanding that the journey itself probably will not take 3 months, which is what everyone tells you. When you're a first-time buyer and you're moving into your first home, I feel like it's very normalised for people to say, you're going to move into your house in 3 months. Oh, it's about 3 months. That's how long it's going to take. No, it takes a lot longer than that. And the average now is between 4 and 6 months. And when we started our process, in our minds, we thought, oh, it's only going to take around 3 months. Perfect. But it ended up taking 6.5. So you need to manage your expectations here and understand that it probably will take longer than you think. So when delays and things like that do crop up, you can handle them in a better way, because for me, I thought that we were going to move in really quick. So the fact that we didn't, and there was delay after delay after delay, I got more and more frustrated. So I feel like if you can manage your expectations earlier and in your mind maybe say, we probably won't move into this house for another 6 months after your offer is accepted, then you can expect things to crop up. So when things do, you're not going to be disappointed. Do you know what I mean? So looking back on the different lessons that I've learned through this whole process, something that will probably help you too is, number one, check all of your legal documents. Throughout this whole process, you are going to get a lot of, double-sided, detailed documents from your solicitor. Check every single one. Check for spelling mistakes. Check for what things mean, because we didn't really understand half of what was on these papers, right? If you need a bit of help, put all of it as a PDF into ChatGPT and it will summarize everything and give you things to look out for. Make life easier for yourself, but definitely double check spelling mistakes, especially on your names, because these are legal documents that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Well, for however long you're going to be in your house. So it is so important to make sure that the names on the documents are correct, even if it is just one letter out. You just need to double check them, okay? Number 2 is to choose your solicitor wisely. Now, we were recommended a solicitor from a friend who is within that line of work. So luckily we got someone that was really, really good. He was very quick. He was on it, even though he wasn't proactive in reaching out to us, when we were to him, he was very forthcoming. He got back to us really, really quickly and he gave us all the details. Like, he was sound and he got things done super fast. That is a different story for the seller's solicitor. That is where a lot of the bottleneck of our issues came from, if you don't know my story already. But I'm not going to sit here and complain, because at the end of the day, she was just doing her job and she probably had a huge caseload. So I think looking back, instead of having feelings of like anger, frustration, impatience, I'm looking at it like gratefulness. And I respect that she's quite busy. She probably had loads of clients, and that's probably why we got put on the back burner a little bit. Number 3 is staying organized with where you're at and the documents that you're getting. So when you're getting all these things through, whether that's your mortgage in principle, whether that's your title deed, anything like that, start making more like a bit of a document about the stuff you're getting and researching maybe how long things should usually take. So for example, our contract pack, which is also known as a seller's pack or a starter pack, is basically the first lot of information that the seller solicitor will send to your solicitor when you get the offer approved, your mortgage in principle is approved, and things are starting to move. Now, this shouldn't really take longer than a couple of weeks. If it takes longer than this, please start chasing early, guys. This is a mistake that we made very early on. So we didn't start chasing until 5 weeks after. So while we thought things were going on in the background and working and, people were doing their thing, that was not the case. The seller solicitor just didn't even chase for these documents or was sending anything across to our solicitor. So we were just waiting in the dark. Now, our solicitor went on holiday just after our offer got approved. So he just had someone to fill in for him in the time in between. So this guy is not going to go out of his way to chase these documents for us, and we didn't really know what was going on. So after 5 weeks, we called the estate agents, because obviously you can't contact the seller solicitor, and they said to us, that's weird, you probably should have had that by now, so we'll call the seller solicitor and see what's going on. Lo and behold, it literally, guys, it came through the same day, later that afternoon. So when people say don't chase and don't be annoying, we have had multiple experiences where when you do chase the estate agents, and they can get a little bit annoyed at you if you call them and ask for what's going on. But at the end of the day, you're buying a house, so you're going to want to know what's going on. But they did help with pushing things along. They would call the seller solicitor, and magically the documents that we wanted or the names to be changed would have happened on the same day that they chased. So all I'm saying is don't be afraid to chase early. If you're just at the start of this process, just chase early. You have nothing to lose. The one thing they can say is, can you not contact us and be badgering us? If that was me going through the start process again, if I haven't had the contract pack within 2 weeks of the offer approved, I would start chasing the estate agents. So that's just what I would do personally, and a lesson that I've learned that I will take on in future house purchases for sure. And the last point that I've already touched on is being prepared for delays. They are probably bound to happen. There's probably going to be delays in different ways. So it will depend on how many people are in your chain. If it's just you and the sellers and you haven't got an onward chain and neither does the sellers, it's probably going to be quite a smoother process. You could probably expect to move in within 3 months, which would be amazing, right? However, if you have a longer chain, or there is a new build thrown into the mix, especially if they're a brand new developer like ours, you can expect there to be a little bit of pushback, a little bit of things going not potentially wrong, but things delaying, and things can crop up left, right and centre without you knowing what's going on, because obviously we're not professionals in this. We are first time buyers. We are going through the process for the first time ever, and no one gives us a handbook on how to handle this or understand what anything even means, because we're not solicitors either. So just having a little bit of thought and understanding that there probably will be delays, I think will help settle your mind a little bit and be prepared for when they do, because they probably will, I'm sorry to say. So my final point on this very first episode, I really hope I've not just chatted and not given you some valuable information, because I can talk for England. But my final point is to not give up. If there is delay after delay after delay, don't feel like it's because it's the wrong house, it's the wrong time, it's the wrong something. There is like a divine timing in everything, and things all happen for a reason. So if you truly deep down feel like this house is yours, then please hold on to that thought, because that is going to pull you into that energy of this house is mine and this energy is mine. You can just see yourself in your house, so it will be your house, don't worry. There is delays in the house buying process, it just is what it is, but no one actually prepares you for it. So here's why I am here right now, to give you the raw, honest and upfront truth of what it's like being a first time buyer. So I do hope that something that I speak about helps you in some way, because I honestly wish there was someone given this information when I was going through the process, and I would have ate it up. I didn't look at any videos or any YouTubes or even ask too many friends and family about what the process was like. People just gave, timelines and how much things cost generally. That was basically it. So here I am giving you all the deets so your house buying process can be so much smoother than ours. And I hope that my story in having 6.5 months worth of delays makes you feel a little bit better if you're just having the odd delay here or there, because every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and you're going to learn something in every single process of when you're getting your first house. Patience is your best friend. I promise you. I promise you. So stay tuned in episode 2, where I'm going to go through all of the house buying costs for when you buy your very first home. Now, that will be different depending on how much the house is, what area you're in and things like that. But in general, I'm going to go through my own process and then generally how much things do cost. You're on the home stretch, my friends. So please carry on going. You are so nearly there, and you should be so proud of how far you've come. If you like this episode and you found something a little bit useful, I would really appreciate you liking, commenting and sharing this podcast, and make sure to follow along to see the house buying process overall and not miss a single episode. I will see you on the next episode.